This is Colin Dixon with End Screen Media, and I'm at OTT TV World Forum in London speaking with Jeff Weber, who is CEO of Zone TV. Jeff, give us a quick update. What is Zone TV? And let's talk a little bit about the operators that you're working with. So tell us about Zone TV.
Fantastic. So Zone TV is really bridging the gap between the pay TV and the OTT worlds. We take digital first content, we curate it into channels, take it back into the operator's EPG, and then allow customers, unlike a boring linear channel, to personalize and really do some interesting things with it.
Now, let's talk a little bit about that personalization, because you're doing some things with AI and quite sophisticated processing to actually take care of the automation of that customization of the channels.
That's exactly right. So we really try and blend human curation along with some really advanced technology and artificial intelligence. And so a human curates a channel, and that's how it starts. But what we allow a consumer to do, if they're watching Foodies, which is one of our channels, and they love the show they're watching, just hitting your remote, you zonify that channel. And what that does is it actually reprograms that whole Foodies channel on the fly based on the metadata of the show you're watching and your viewing history. So now Foodies is personalized to what you like, and your Foodies channel and my Foodies channel could be very different.
Right. And the content, it all comes from MCNs and those types of sources?
We describe it as digital first content, which really doesn't mean much. What it means to us is anything that's not in the traditional pay TV ecosystem. So it could be an SVOD, a publisher, an AVOD, MCN, anybody that has great content, that has viewers watching that content somewhere, somehow, and we look at it and say it's really high quality, we're interested in that content.
So this comes at a great time for operators. Mm-hmm. They are under a lot of stress and strain, particularly from the cost of the content.
Absolutely.
This content doesn't cost them anything to put on their service, correct?
Correct.
And it's brand new, properly licensed. They can insert ads in it, all of that good stuff?
All of that good stuff. So what we've done with digital first content is we've licensed it, so 6,000 hours of content so far. And we turn around and we do, I think, some interesting things with the business model. It's a rev share back to the operator, so we're not in there saying give me 10 cents a sub for each of the channels. So they like that and helps grow margin, not shrink margin. And then on the other side with our content partners, they get paid as consumers watch their content. And what that does is up and down. Operators, Zone TV, and our content partners all get paid when the content is watched, as opposed to the old model, which is, as you know, pretty inefficient.
Right. And now, you've just launched a couple of channels with Comcast, is
yes,
that correct?
SVODs. We've done some SVODs with Comcast, Tumblebooks and Fit Fusion. Tumblebooks is a kids read-along service, and Fit Fusion, Jillian Michaels, is a fitness SVOD. And so thrilled to be working with Comcast and starting down that process. It's great.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. So, now, one of the things that I found really fascinating is that this is a learning system. So, first of all, it learns what I like.
Yes.
But it also takes my learning and feeds that back so that it can make better recommendations generally,
Exactly right? That's exactly right. So, Zonify I talked about and personalizes for a consumer. But the humans that curate those channels, the zoners as we call them, the zoners have access to that information, as well as we use a signals network, which is a social graph and other inputs that come into the zoner to help them curate in a much smarter and better way. So it's a combination of all of those things that we really create some tools in the Zone TV programming studio that allows us to curate in a very interesting way.
And so you say you have a studio. Tell me what goes on, what production's going on in those studios.
So we're not producing content per se. The programming studio I'm talking about is the tools that the zoner uses to look at 6,000 hours of content and how do I curate and what are the themes that matter. The example I always use is, I don't know about you, but there was a time when Brussels sprouts were the most hated vegetable out there.
Those days are gone.
And one day I woke up and it was on every menu on the planet, right?
Yes.
If the signals network is working correctly, we'll be curating a show stream on the Foodies network somewhere around Brussels sprouts and maybe what's going on. We'll know about that way in advance. And that's a silly example, but it gives you a sense of what we're trying to do with the signals network and the automation and the AI to create something different.
It also sounds like something that I would, if I was an operator, I would be really excited about this idea that I could launch a channel really quickly, based on basically anything that's hot.
That's exactly right. And so in addition to the business model changes, we're delivering OTT, so we're not taking that precious managed bandwidth either from QAM or the satellite operator. So they really like that. You know, there's not the $200,000 in CapEx to start a linear channel. All that goes away in the approach we take, and it's just a much more efficient approach.
Sounds like a great approach for operators, well timed.
Thank you. Let's hope. We'll see.
Jeff, thanks very much for telling us about it.
Thanks, Colin. Appreciate it.
This has been Colin Dixon with Endscreen Media.